And it is yet another wonderful sunny good morning to everybody here from the Kerava National Cricket Ground in Finland. Pleasure to present again this morning the third and final day of the Nordic Cup 2024 between Finland, Norway and Denmark A. And we have this morning, first up at a 9 o'clock sharp finish time start, the Denmark A side against Norway. And news of the toss, Denmark have won the toss and have decided to bat this morning. We have 3 from 3 in terms of lovely weather for this weekend. A bit of cloud cover this morning, but not that much that we can complain about. There's a little bit, perhaps less of a breeze than there has been the last few days. Perfect morning for cricket. We've got forecast today of clear weather, 22 degrees centigrade throughout the day. Looking forward to bringing you 3 games of cricket this morning. Oh, sorry, today, Sunday, the 16th of June, and the openers for Denmark, numbers 27 Saran Aslam and 18 Salad Khan. And we have Sahak to open the bowling for Norway. And that one stabbed out to the cover fielder, no run. So Norway, having won all of their matches then so far, quite clearly have the lead in this event. Finishing off yesterday evening with a victory against the Danish side. And that one is just outside the off stump. Playing a miss from Khan. News this morning from the ICC T20 World Cup as well, that Scotland valiantly trying to defend a score of 180 lost to Australia, which means that Australia and England proceed to the Super 8s of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. England just by the skin of their teeth. Sahak here to continue, 3 dots so far this over, and again similar shot, similar result. Same fielder. That's number 30 for Norway. Rahimi just on the ring, stopping the one, and as he has done. And to repeat, will we see a maiden first up this morning? That's 5 dots so far for Sahak. Keeping consistent lines just outside the off stump to the left-handed Khan, and just seems to be happy at the moment. Saying that, hits one straight at the fielder, who takes a great catch to dismiss Khan, so it's a wicket maiden. Denmark finishing the first over 0 runs for 1 wicket. As another cup of tea is served to the box. Even though it's the wrong tea bag, but we're not going to complain, are we? No. Lipton's rather than Tetley's. Oh well. I'll survive. So, a wicket maiden first up here to put the pressure quite clearly onto the Danish batters this morning. And let's have a look. So, the second over looks like it's going to be taken by Norway's number 7. It'll be another Sahak, but share Sahak this time. And we have joining Aslam at the wicket. Mahmood. Big appeal. Norwegians confident of edge. The umpire Venka not interested. And that'll be another dot ball. So 7 dot balls this morning so far. Interesting start to proceedings. Can't remember the last time I've seen 7 dot balls at the beginning of a T20. First for everything. Aslam it is to face. And there we go. There goes the dot balls. Hits it over extra cover, and that'll run away for 4 to get off the mark and to get the Danes off the mark. First runs of the morning for them. As Aslam decides this enough is enough, opens the shoulders. Nicely played over the ring for any viewers this morning not familiar with T20I regulations. There's a 6 over power play, which means 2 fielders out as a maximum, and the fielding just set. Now we've got a long off, and that one's launched. It's going to get over the... Oh, good effort from the fielder, coming over his shoulder, but he puts it down, and they return for 2. That one here hit aerial, immediately a field change, so the deep mid wicket on the boundary then comes in, and the long on is moved. Seven to continue. Sark, and it's a bouncer, and no man out there. So, whilst it wasn't perhaps technically correct or cosmetically nice looking shot, enough on it, and he gets it away over deep square for another 4. So Aslam on his own here, trying to rectify the run rate from the first wicket maiden, and he's raced along to 10. From the first 4 balls of the second over. Sack it is again to continue, and a similar shot, similar results. I think, or is the fielder going to get this one? No, the fielder does manage to stop it this time. Aslam just flicking that one over backward square. Didn't quite make as much contact as with the previous ball. Comes in again. Better ball outside the line. The impact there, I reckon, as the appeal, rather muted appeal, but yeah, I don't think there's any question about that one. And that brings us to the end of the over, which is currently showing 14, but I don't think that's correct. Or did we have a 6? No, I don't. Perhaps it did. I thought that ball, the hook shot off the 4th ball was a 4, but yeah, okay. Must admit I was looking at the screen and not the umpire, so stand corrected if that's the case. So 14 off the second over. And after bowling wicket maiden first up, then quite rightly number 17, Sahak, continues. And that one is just punched back to the middle fielder on the ring by Rizwan Mahmood. Facing his first ball of the morning, as his partner in the first over, Khan, is a wide. Faced all of the 6 balls of the first over, and then Aslam faced all of the second. So Mahmood then on strike for the first time this morning. Sahak just adjusting his line that he'd had to the left hand in the first over. Nicely nudged towards the vacant mid-on area. Fielder comes round, that'll be just a single. Shorter ball, and he's played that right to the fielder. Didn't really get hold of it, just tried to guide it over the inner ring fielders and only succeeded in guiding it to the Norwegian fielder waiting at backward point. So Aslam goes for a quick fire 14. Let's see who it will be that joins Mahmood at the wicket. It's number 17, Brian Cherry, I think it will be. Coming in at 4 for Denmark this morning. Cherry taking his time, asking umpire Samantha for his guard, and a few guards by the looks of it. So he seems to be one of these batters that likes to check where all the stumps are, not just one of them. So a bit wickets for Sahak this morning. 2 for 2 from his spell so far, and that one is, oh, I was just about to say a third one, as Chari then pulls that straight to the fielder, number 30, at square leg on the ring, Rahimi, and he shells it. Regulation catch, really. In and out, in a flash. And Chari gets a life. Sahak won't be happy about that. Really, straight in, straight out again. Chari's facing a second time. A little bit more caution from that one. Perhaps still thinking about the previous ball. Certainly was there for the pull, just didn't quite get over it. Fortunately for him, Norwegian fielder not up to the task. Sahak's excellent figures would have looked even better as he continues an appeal. Umpire Samantha not interested, shake of the head. And over is the call. So after 3 overs, Denmark 16 for 2. Sahak having taken both of them with figures of 2 overs, 2 for 2. Not a bad start for any bowler in a T20. Sure, we'll be pleased with that. Once again, just showing really that putting the balls just in the right areas. Nothing particularly quick. Don't think we saw that much movement either, but just basically asking questions of the batter all the time, other than the wide. Other than the wide, 2 really tight overs, so only 1 off the bat, plus an extra. And it'll be number 7, Sahak to continue. Batsman comes down towards him, but only succeeds in edging it to the ring fielder station there at, what you'd say, probably a deep gully, just on the ring. Mahmood again, and he does pierce the fielders, and sure enough, as we've seen all this weekend, a little bit of a downhill slope to that part of the field towards the covers. That's a 4, welcome 4 from the Danish perspective. Just beat the previous balls fielder there at a deep gully and point. Sure enough, as soon as he'd pierced the field here, still in the 4th over of the power play, got enough on it to go away to the boundary. And again, just advancing down, this time played through wide long on, you'd probably say that, and the fielder comes round. Not much of a throw in, but probably noticed that. Out there on the deep mid-wicket boundary, but they manage easily to complete the 2. So we continue with a again just up on his toes. Mahmood hits that one just to the right hand of the point fielder on the ring, who managed to parry the ball from going past him, but a single easily taken by the Danish batter. So most of the runs this morning coming from the residential end, from Sher Sahak, number 7, whilst his partner Wahidullah Sahak has not given anything away at the other end. Again, that one almost a repeat of the shot by his partner then earlier in the over. Chari just plays that one between gully and point, and the same result. The ball runs away through the nippy outfield this morning. I think it's again just the ball retrieved from under the mobile covers, and Chari gets off the mark with a boundary. Cherry goes down on one knee and slaps that one away over the vacant square leg area for 4 runs. Brings the end to the over, which will see the Danes progress to 31 for the loss of 2 wickets. So interesting morning indeed. We've got Norwegians there giving a life to Cherry off the first ball, and he's then dispatch the next two deliveries that he's faced for boundaries. So let's see what the Norwegians decide now after. It'll be 17 to continue. Yep, they keep Wahidullah Sahak on for his third. And sorry, Mahamud it was, that advanced down the wicket, chipped it over the inner circle, but they've got a fielder out there at a wide long on, so it's just a single. Terry then puts the next one away through the point region. Again, still in the power play, there's no point fielder out. You've got a deep mid-wicket and a long on, and that one runs away for 4. So Cherry just dealing in boundaries this morning after the life he was given on the first ball. So critical. He catches, it's a different game. He's caught that. Cherry, oh, he's down again. He's on the back foot, slashed that to number 7. Backward gully position. Sher Sahak on the ring, who manages to get a hand on it. Difficult chance, but again, one of those that you'd like to think would have been taken. So Charlie's on 2 lives this morning. Just dabs that one to the same fielder that just dropped the catch this time. Retrieves the ball off the turf, and there's no run. As we have another change to the field. Long on brought up, and deep fine leg on the boundary. So deep fine leg and deep mid-wicket are the 2 fielders out at the moment and Sahak decides to come around the wicket. Bowling across the batter there, and Cherry trying to dispatch that one over the inner ring fielders. Doesn't manage to make contact. There's another dot. Sahak for the last ball of the 5th over. Cherry just stabs that one down again. Rinse and repeat straight to number 7. Just inside the ring, backward point, and there's no run. That brings the end of the 5th over, which sees the score move along to 36 for the loss of 2 wickets. So a run rate of 7.2 for the Danes this morning, which most of those runs coming from the residential end so far, for those who have been following us since the start. So we'll see a change of bowling here. 56, Qamar Mushtaq, it will be, to bowl his first over this morning. So after the first 2 wickets, a little partnership here, 20 from 15 thus far. Chari with a couple of chances, but that's the game. Make the most of it if you can. There's that one, signaling wide, beats the keeper, and will it run away? No, the fielder just manages to come round and collect that one. They'll come back for 3. Running 3 off the wide. Charlie there. First time I've seen him this weekend, quickly running between the wickets as well. Seems to be aggressive batter. Mushtaq continues. Similar result, the first ball, other than the fact that the keeper took it this time, but another wide. So Mushtaq's radar not quite on it this morning. His first two balls both squirting down the leg side. Let's see what he does with this one. It's a straighter ball, but Mahmoud just stabs that one down, and as the Danes have done all weekend, takes a nice and easy single, even though Norwegian fielders are there on the ring. Just a slight adjustment to the fielder then after that one, perhaps. 18 just coming in a little bit tighter at short extra. That's Javed Khan, number 18. See if they can stop that single there inside the ring. Slashed away again. That's another repeat of an earlier shot through between gully and backward point. Runs away one bounce into the mobile covers for 4. Mahmoud quite clearly likes that area. Any width, and he's dispatched it this morning. Short, an attempted pull. This wraps him on the pad. Umpire not interested in that. Another weak appeal from the bowler. Hopeful to say the least, I think. Yeah, height-wise is quite clearly going over the top. Mahmoud again advancing down. Perhaps the bowler just saw him this time. Digs it in that little bit shorter. Straight through to the keeper. Mahmoud not managing to make contact this time. Again aiming for that same area. Just behind point square and the offside. This time a dot ball. Lovely shot. I was just about to say, give him a bit more width again, and he's a slightly different areas this time, but the same end result. One bounce, 4, just into the area in front of the team nets. As Mahmoud just disdainfully slaps that one away. In what will be, I was just about to say the last ball. This is the last ball of the power play, so Mahmoud making or taking advantage of that to the best of his ability, whilst he still can. This one just hit into the short mid-wicket area, and the call is no run. Manages to get back in time before the throw. So that's the end of the over and the end of the power play, which sees Denmark progressing to 50 for the loss of those 2 early wickets. So the Danes will be happy with that, I think. Having been 16 for 2 at the end of the third, they'll take 50 for 2 off the power play, I suspect. Running along at 8.33 runs per over. So again, I think, as we said in the commentary box yesterday, a critical stage of the game, always the power play, and the batting side always needs to make sure that you lose a wicket or 2, that you don't lose any more. You really don't want to get yourself into a situation where you're 3 or 4 down at the end of 6, exposing your middle order already to the power play overs. So the Danes have managed to do that, and do that well, and move the score along nicely. .34 off the last 3 overs of the power play, and we'll see some spin this morning for the first time. It'll be 87 Parmar, Anil Parmar, that will have his first over of the morning. Norwegian spinners did a good job yesterday against Finland, bowling 8 overs straight. Jari just dabs that one down. Back to the bowler. That's no run. So let's see how the Danish batters then fare with the Norwegian spinners today. Starting with a dot. That one just this time angled into the batter, and he manages to turn that one through the mid-wicket area and pick up a single. Digestives, I think, would be the request to the match manager this morning. Serenity, no, and he's shaking his head. There's no digestives on offer, apparently. Oh well, you can only ask. It's Mahmood to face this time, and again, similar area, but manages to get it past the short midfielder this time. And they come through for an easy jog single. Fielder not just quite managing to stop that one. And he's immediately moved to backward square. Onto the ring behind umpire Venkat as Parmar continues to Chari, left arm, and yeah, as is often the case, adjustment to the field means Chari then immediately plays that into the slot where the fielder was standing the previous ball, and they'll come through again for another easy single. And the Norwegian captain then playing chasey this morning as he moves the fielder back into the spot where the ball went the previous ball. Let's see what Mahmood's going to do with this one, and he just hits that one through extra cover. There's a man out there. Again, just another jog single. Danes seem happy just to milk the bowling at this moment in time, having finished the power play with a few flurry of boundaries. Jari just moves around the crease, flicks that one down to the wide long on fielder for another single, and that's the end of the over. 5 runs from it. Five runs from the first over of left arm spin this morning, so takes Denmark along to 55 for the loss of 2 wickets. Mahmood 19 from 14 balls, Chari 16 from 15, so they're both of them going along at a similar rate. Chari with a couple of lives already, which, well, he certainly looks as though he's a competent enough batter, so let's see how much the Norwegians will pay for those 2 drops today. And as suspected, as has been the strategy of the Norwegians thus far, it'll be Raza Iqbal, the skipper, to come on from the residential end to bowl in tandem with his spinning partner. Another left arm, and that's a full toss. Cherry slaps that one back to a deep long on fielder for a single. Which brings Mahmood to face at the weather tower end. That's a better length. Mahmood just slaps that one out along the turf to the long on fielder, who returns to the bowler. Easy single. Danes continue in a similar vein. Yep, again just dabbing that one to the short backward point fielder, but sharp enough. Both batters backing up quickly. An easy single at the end of the day, and that fielder is well and truly within, oh, I'd say 5-6 metres inside the inner circle, and still not managing to cut off the single, as that one is aerial, and it's aerial straight over the fielder for 6 runs into the stop nets here at the residential end. Nicely picked up by Mahmood. Had enough of those singles, having listened to the commentator, no doubt. Seen enough of that. We've played Last 8 balls for a 1. Let's go for a boundary. And he, lovely shot, steps back, gives himself room, and that ball beat the sweeper just in front of the Danish team tent. Runs down the hill for another boundary. Shot from Mahmoud. Iqbal there didn't give him too much room, but the batter then moving his feet while giving himself space to play that past the ring fielder, and fine enough to beat the cover sweeper, and then he'll just play that one back contentedly along the ground through the vacant mid-off area to long off, single scored, and that means that's the end of the 8th over. 69 for 2, so 14 off that one. The first over. Well, let's see whether that changes the tactics of the Norwegians this morning. Will they have another bowling change after this over? This is left arm of Parmar to continue. Mahmoud again just steps back, and it's that one just forward of point this time, and there's a cover sweeper, so it'll just be the one. Cherry just moving around in the crease before the bowler bowls, and he dabs that one down through the vacant mid-on area for an easy single. Not too many dot balls this morning after those. And that one's aerial. Will the fielder come round? He's had a great effort to try and catch it, but doesn't manage to do so on the dive, and only succeeds in pushing the ball over the boundary there at extra cover, so that'll be another 4 for Mahmoud. Moves him along to 36 from 20. Clearly here interested in opening up his shoulders and looking for those big gaps in the outer kind of a decent sized boundaries. There's lots and lots of room here for the Danish batters to either knock it around or, as Mahmoud decided this morning, hit it straight through the vacant long off area for 4. So Parmar is now, of the 2 left armers from Norway, receiving the treatment, so to speak. Consecutive boundaries from Mahmoud. Let's see what the response is from the left armer. And yeah, perhaps there could have been a single there. Turns it down. The fielder just at backward point with a bit of a fumble, but they decide not to run on the misfield this time. Oh, and a swing and a miss. So again, immediately after I said it, and 2 dot balls to finish the 9th. 79 runs on the score on the board at the moment, so just shy of 9 in over. I'm sure they'll be happy with that, having been again 16 for 2. These two putting a decent partnership together here, setting the base for the second half of the innings, which, if these two stay together much longer, you can't help but think there's a big score on the cards here today. And it will be Iqbal to continue. And that's aerial. Is it good enough on that one? No, he hasn't. Straight down the long on fielder's throat. So Iqbal takes his first wicket of the morning, and it was Cherry that perishes. Didn't get enough on that one. Cherry for 19 off 18 balls. His 3rd catch off the bat this morning, which was third time lucky for the Norwegians. So they'll be glad to see the back of him. Not made more damage than that. And the new batter to the wicket. Who do we have? Not up on the screen yet, and I didn't see the shirt number. Oh, he turns around nicely for me, thank you very much. Number 90, I think that was. Was a Mahmood. In at 5. Just stabs that one down to long on for a single. Get himself off the mark off his second ball. So Mahmood, his partner, coming on a face, who's 40 from 23. Iqbal decided to keep himself on. After going for 14 from his first over, so. There's another dot. So it's a good comeback here from Iqbal. Wicket, 2 dots and a single off his second over, having gone for 14 in the first. That one again, this time just doesn't give the batter any room, and he hits that one straight to the short extra cover fielder. And there's no run. Beats the bat this time. Straight through to the keeper, so that brings the end of the 10th just for a single. So we've got exactly 80 off the first 10 of the Danish innings, the halfway stage. So they'll probably still be not as happy as they were an over earlier, but 3 down and 80 off the first 10 overs. Par, perhaps, you'd say, I think, at the moment. Up and down graphics on the screen there. And that one, I just wonder whether there was any contact with that at all, but there wasn't. Umpires signalled a wide and they'll come back for 2 runs. That first ball of the 11th over from Parmar. Is just dabbed down to the what do we call that, wide mid wicket fielder, I beg your pardon, wide point fielder on the ring, and there's no run. Palmer will continue. Mahmood, bit of air, and he hits that one just along the turf to the wide long off fielder. Easy single. Brings skipper Rizwan Mahmood onto strike. down the wicket, but doesn't get enough. Well, from his perspective, doesn't get enough on it to reach the boundary, but doesn't get enough on it either, aerial, to reach the long gone fielder. So there were just another single off that one. Lofted drive. He advanced down the wicket. Mahmood M for Muzar just plays that one along the ground, again in the direction of long gone, and they come through for an easy single. That one just played back to the bowler, Palmer, for no run. Coming left arm over between the wickets and the umpire. Just a little hesitation, and then again delivers the ball, and again similar result to the ball before the previous one, along the ground to the long on fielder, and that brings us to the close of the 11th over with a score on 87 for the loss of 3 wickets. Interesting phase here to see one set batsman, one new batsman. Skipper Rizwan Mahmood of 42 off 29, quite clearly the aggressive, or the aggressor at the crease at the moment. You would think he's going to be looking to push it along these next few overs, see if he can up the run rate further. As Iqbal it'll be to continue 2 overs for 15 thus far. Sure enough, Mahmood down on one knee, trying to dispatch that one somewhere over deep mid-wicket. Ends up dribbling down behind the keeper through fine leg for a 2. This time. Now there's a man out there, however. I was just about to say, this time he goes for that heave over cow corner, but there's a man out there. Just one bounce to him. They run through for a single. So skipper moves on to 45 from 31. A little bit short from Iqbal. Musa Mahmood it is that just steps back and has all the time in the world to play that one. Again, one couple of bounces to the fielder out there at deep cup corner. He's lofted that one as a fielder out there, and sure enough, he's found him. Fielder just coming in off the sweeper position on the boundary, and the skipper departs for 45. So that's the second wicket for Iqbal this morning. That's Lucky Malik that comes to the wicket. Next batter on the Danish side. Just lays that to short cover, and there's no run. Iqbal's figures improved from the first over that went for 14. Play him miss there, and that's another dot, and that'll be the end of the 12th over. Just 4 from it, and a wicket, so Norwegian's containing here a little bit. Just looked at one stage there where there was going to be a partnership to push the score along at a faster rate. However, as we saw yesterday, the wickets are not only dot balls, but they also then slow down the batting innings. So another period of consolidation here for the Danes, perhaps. Let's see. Parma is to continue again, as he has done throughout, bowling his spell straight through his 4th over, as Mahmood then plays that one through the extra cover area along the ground, and they'll come through for an easy single. So new batter Lucky Malik will face the left arm of Parma for the first time this morning. And yeah, nothing doing there, just cramped him up a little bit. Just stabs it straight down, and the bowler achieves the ball, no run. The left arm is managing to keep this tight again. Attempted reverse. Just manages to come through for one. Didn't get much on it, but just enough to guide it past the keeper and come through for a single. Brings Musa Mahmood back on to strike. Let's see what he does with this one. Ooh, kept a bit low perhaps. It's back and across, wanted to slap that one through mid-wicket, but doesn't make contact with the ball. This time he does, but where's that gone? No, he's got enough on that, I think. Yep, and he bisects the 2 fielders between long on and long off, and just one bounce over the fence for 4 runs. As we have another Finnair jet this morning approaching, I think I'd say, approaching the Helsinki-Vantaa airport, as the fielders are looking for the ball currently. I think it went all that far. Not too much long grass down there behind the umpire at the weather tower end, but sufficient amounts of grass for the fielders not to be able to find the ball, it seems. So third umpire Serenity Ravindra brings out the spare balls box for the first time this morning. Seems our 2 ball boys have not joined us that were here for Friday, Saturday, so see if we can find that one later. So Palmer for the last delivery of his spell this morning into Mahmood, who just nudges that one behind square over his shoulder, and they'll come back for 2. Yeah, there's a fumble in the field. No issue about not taking a second. Easy runs. So Parma finishes this morning with figures of 4 overs, none for 30, and the score moves along to 99 from 13. So just as I was about to say, we see the 8th over of consecutive over of left arm. It's a change of bowling, and it'll be 69. Darshana Kuruge who'll come on to bowl from the residential end, and he'll be bowling to Lucky Malik. Looks like a bit of, and he's gone. Yep. First ball from Kuruge, and batsman Malik advancing down the crease, misses the ball, and the keeper flicks the bails off. I think much of a question there as to him being out of his ground. So Malik departs for 1 run, and that's the 5th wicket down for Denmark here. So they've not been able to move on from that, what looked like a decent enough position at the end of the first half of the innings, losing a couple of wickets. And as has been the case in pretty much all of the games so far in this Nordic Cup, wicket taking has dried up the run scoring. Struggling to put another partnership together here, Denmark, so it's new batter is Aftab. Who defends that one? Just straight to the point field, and there's no run. This time, and they'll come through. Ooh, overthrows. They'll come through for a second. I was just about to say, short extra. Just coming round and not quickly enough to stop the single there, but throw, they're not gathered by the bowler at the non-striker's end, and they'll come through for a second, which gets Aftab off the mark. Kuruge's little off spinner dabbed down to wide mid on for an easy single, which brings Musa Mahmood on to strike for the last ball of the 14th over. A tidy one it's been. Just advancing down the wicket, and they're pushing that first one hard as a Norwegian fielder. Skipper it is, I think it is. They come in from deep long on with a shy at the stumps just to just take the single. It's 103 for the loss of 5 at the end of the 14th. And looks like like a change of ends for the skipper to make his final over, as that one is played through the vacant cover area out to the sweeper, and they'll come through for an easy single. Yep, Iqbal it is to continue. And Aftab it is that'll be facing. And he plays that one. Just easily enough through the wide long off, or to the wide long off fielder. That extra cover area left open. Comes back and across, gives himself some room, but yeah, bowler didn't quite manage to gather, but there's still no run. Again, advancing down, but Mahmood not able to do anything with that other than just guide it back to the bowler. Iqbal keeping is under control here. Single off the fifth. Attempted run out there, but not quick enough for that one. Came through easy enough for the single at the end. And yeah, it was off the pad. Umpire signals that as a leg bye. Oh, just squirts that one. Yeah, I'm just fielder not managed to gather that cleanly, and sure enough, as a result, there's an easy enough single. Brings up the end of the 15th over, which sees Denmark progress to 107 for the loss of those 5 wickets. Iqbal finishing his spell with 4 overs, 2 for 22. So he'll be pleased with that. And after that decent first over, Kurugate will be to continue with his right arm spin. Aftab to face. Let's see whether the two batters can put together a partnership here for the last 5 overs. And Aftab, he comes down. Is there enough on that one? He has. He has. Just clears the long on fielder for a maximum. Well picked up. Good footwork. Decided to come down to Kurugate. Not let him settle. Just enough on it to clear the long on fielder here at the residential end into the stop netting. So let's see if the Danes can bring some acceleration to the innings. Oh, and a wide one there. Bowler perhaps thinking after that 6 that he had to come up with something else, and well, he did come up with something else, but only succeeded in bowling a wide. So what's the plans for the next delivery? A bit more air on that one, and again another wide. So the right arm spinner, as we have another fin air. Oh, I was about to say there, tries to get some bat on that, but only succeeds in missing the ball, and another wide. So 3 consecutive wides here. The bowler seems to have lost his lines after that 6 of the first ball. See if he can get back on again. A bit more air. Oh my word. He does manage to bowl a straight one, which probably after the 3 wides was the surprising factor. Came through on the full to Aftab, and he just slapped that one straight to extra cover for breakfast. Thank you very much. Easy catch. And Aftab departs for 11 from 8. So again, a wicket falls just at the point where the Danish batters looking like they were going to start to put a partnership together to try and move this score towards a 150, 160 type score, but at the end of, I beg your pardon, not the end of the over yet, but 116 for 6 off 15.2, so again, just struggling after the first 10 here, the Danes, not managing to move it on. It'll be Tor Turner as the next batter in, the wicket keeper for the Danish side. Let's see what he can do. And he steps back and plays that through the vacant mid-on position. The bowler then getting good work to get around and get a throw off. He does hit the stumps as well, but Turner then quick enough to make his ground. So just a single. Really is another beautiful morning here at Kerava. As Kurugada continues, Mahmood just sets off busily for looking for the second, but they're not going to go for it. The Norwegian skipper just fumbling there on the ring, but not sufficiently to give the opportunity for a second run to the Danish batters. So just a single brings Turner back on the strike, and yeah, doing anything with that, just nudges it into the onside, and the bowler fields off his own bowling. They decide not to take a single to the Norwegian skipper there, extra cover, and that's another dot. So brings us to the end of the 16th with the score on 118 for the loss of 6. So Kuruga there a little bit more expensive, but also a wicket, 3 wides and a couple of dots. Mixed bag there. Greetings to all of our viewers in Denmark. Apparently they might get some cricket this weekend over there in soggy, wet Copenhagen. Always, 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 if in doubt, come to Helsinki. Or in this case, Kerava, just outside of Helsinki, but you know what I mean. Perfect cricketing weather here. Just a nice 20 degrees centigrade, bit of a breeze, some cloud cover. Nice sharp, quick outfield. Lovely day for it. And it's Chowdhury to come in with right arm medium from the weather tower end. And will they come back? They will come back for 2. Is he going to make it? He does. Shake of the head from the umpire at square leg. Well, fielded out there on the mid-wicket boundary, but not quite well enough to execute a run out. They're just going along at just shy of 7.5 and over here, the Danes. Seem to be looking to push somewhere towards 150, I would have thought, if they can manage to put a partnership together here. And yeah, nicely played over the ring. Beats the fielder, and as soon as it beat the fielder, there's nobody out there behind point. And that run away for another 4. Mahmood guiding that, just getting enough on it to go over the 2 fielders there on the ring. Back would have point and gully. So is it going to be Mahmood that's going to move this innings along? Just a little inside. A nudge to find leg. Oh no, beg your pardon. Wasn't a nudge, not off the bat anyway, a nudge off the pad, so leg by scored, another 2 runs added to the total. Thought he got a bit of wood on that one, but no, umpire disagrees with me. Mahmood to continue to face then. What's he doing here? He pushes that one out and he's busily comes back for the run. Deep mid wicket comes round and they manage to stop the second. Just guided behind square, and they will come back for a second this time. Yep, just enough time to complete the second run. I say the fielder came round well, but he didn't manage to grab it cleanly. There was no question that the Danish batters weren't going to come back for a second there. Shorter one. Turner on the pull, but he doesn't quite get hold of that one, and it squirts out towards long off rather than long on, beg your pardon, rather than through mid wicket where he was aiming for. That's the end of the 17th. So 12 off that one, off the first over from Chowdhury. So as I was saying, another 3 overs here. There's 12 off that one. These two batters can stay together. You're looking for something north of 150, I would have thought. That's what the Danes will be looking for. So 69 Kuruge it'll be to continue to take the 18th over. 2 overs, 2 for 15 for him so far. Turner to face, and doesn't manage to guide it to the side of the short mid wicket fielder, so there's no run. Return quickly to the bowler. Turner to face again, and again same result as the previous ball, just hits that straight to the fielder at point. There's no run. Kuruge then keeping it tight. This time he does manage to beat the fielder. Long on, just comes round and there's an easy single there. To Turner. Brings his partner Mahmood back on the strike. 21 from 20 so far. Yep, this time just to the left of the fielder, and there's plenty of time for a single. Two dots, 2 singles so far off the over from Kuruge. Turner again on strike. Bit more there, and he just manages to get something on it. A little bit of an edge. Not enough of the bat, however, to punch the ball out to the fielder, who then doesn't have any chance of stopping the single there. Bringing Mahmood back on the strike for the last ball of the over. Advances down and plays that one along the ground as long off. Easily enough. Fields the ball just for the single. That brings us to the end of the 18th. 134. So just 4 off that one. Kuruge then figures move along to 19 for the loss of 2 wickets off his 3 overs. That's going to be from 56th. It's oops. Mushtaq it'll be to pull his right arm mediums for the 19th over from the weather tower end. And it'll be Mahmood it is to face. Mushtaq went for 14 off his first, so let's see what happens with his second. Full ball just on the full toss, straight down and long on. Didn't get enough on it to have any other options than come through for an easy single. Bringing Turner back onto strike. 6 from 9 so far for him. Just dabs that one down. Kurge it is, who's the fielder there. Just backward a point. Doesn't manage to make a clean take, and there's an easy single again. The field set back here to the right-handed Mahmood. They've got a deep fine leg, a deep mid-wicket, deep cow corner and a long on, and a wider long off. The field is out. Chowdhury comes in. Mahmood makes himself room, and he's played that one. Fielder does a good effort to try and stop the ball, but doesn't manage to do so. It's just bisected the two fielders. As I was saying, long off was wider, and being wider, Mahmood manages to hit it right past the umpire for 4 runs. So here we go. Let's see, he's going to open his shoulders here for the last 9 balls of this inning, see what he can do to move the score along. Mushtaq for the 4th ball of this 19th. And this time he doesn't. Oh, he does. Yeah, no, I was just going to say it looks like he's just going to hold out to backward point, but he managed to get enough bat on it. Just arches over the fielder's head and they come back for 2. I thought there just for a minute I was going to catch that, but arced over the fielder as he ran back to try and take the catch, but didn't get anywhere near it in the end. This time flicked through square leg, but now the fielder does well, comes round a good throw. So umpire at square leg there, Venkat taking evasive action. Mahmood moves on to 31 for 26, just a single. Turner 7 from 10. And Mushtaq will bowl the last of the 19th, so we've got 7 balls still to go here. Let's see, is it going to be all out attack, or they're going to continue to be satisfied with 1s and 2s, the Danish batters. Yeah, just deceived him there with a shorter one. Well fielded, but the batters do succeed in coming back for the second. So that brings the 19th over to the close. 145 for the loss of 6 wickets. Mushtaq's figures for today, 2 overs for 25. $11 off that one. So a good last over will see the Danes pierce the 150, which again seesawing here. It's at the end of the 10th you thought they were going to go more, and then through the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th overs, then perhaps it's looking like they weren't going to make 150, but these two have managed to turn it around. Was a Mahmood 31 from 26. And it'll be, sure enough, the opening bowler, 17. Sahak to bowl his 4th and the innings' final over. Let's see whether he can improve his figures further, or will they be changed drastically. 3 overs, 2 for 7 for him in the power play. So there's a change of ends. He's coming from the residential end now, and batter just about to say whether he's got enough on that one. He certainly did. Dispatch for a maximum over long gone. So his figures are going to be looking worse than they were. Well picked up there by Mahmood. It's a fair hit out there towards the stop nets. Yeah, Sahak then beats his man, and sure enough takes the edge. So it's 6 and out for Mahmood. 37 from 28. On 151, so we've got 4 deliveries still for the new batter to face. Let's see if we get a view of the number on the shirt. Who's this joining Turner at the wicket? Aslam it is. Mustakim Aslam, number 16. Coming in at 9 for the Danish side. It'll be Sahak to bowl his right arm mediums. And just about to say whether they're going to go for a run off the misfield. They decide not to. Keeper then fumbling. So it's a dot here in the 20th. Bit of extra bounce. I was just about to say Sahak, he's not quick, but he's managed to put the ball in areas that is asking questions of the batters, other than the 6 that Mahmood hit off the first ball of this over. He's just managed to find a length which everybody's struggled to deal with today. There's a fuller ball. Manages to get some bat on it, but the bowler has a shy at the stumps, but misses the stumps, and as a result gives the Danish batters an overthrow. So Aslam gets 2 for that dab back at the bowler. And perhaps he shouldn't have had any. But anyway, that's the game of cricket for you. Danes manages to push it past 150 as the last ball of the innings. And there's another wild swing. I was going to say come through for a single no matter what, but hesitation from the Danish batters. Not quite sure why. They just come through for the single. Which will close the Danish innings on 154. So 154 for the loss of 7 wickets for the Danish A side here today. I suspect they'll probably be just about satisfied with that. Looking at one stage for something above 160. But managed to lose a few wickets in the 10th, 12th, 14th and 16th overs. Just holding them back there. So it'll be 155, the target for Norway, at a run rate of 7.75 to win this one. And we'll take a short break. Come and join us again in 10 minutes or so for the Norwegian reply. So, welcome back to all our viewers for the second innings in the Norwegian chase. They'll be chasing 155 to win this fifth game of 7 in the Nordic Cup 2024 here at Kerava. As number 99 it'll be for the Danes to open the bowling. That's Zeb, Shakil Zeb. And the Norwegian batters Islam facing, and Chowdhury at the non-strikers. Yeah, and immediately advances down the wicket to Zeb and gets a thick edge on that one over the inner ring fielders. The third man is out, so there's only the single. Zeb to continue. Straight through to the keeper. No bat on that one. Usman Chowdhury, I think it is. Not seen the number, I think it's number 8. Norwegian batter. Zeb it is continue as the sun just creeps out again from behind the cloud. Same result as the previous ball, i.e. nothing shot at all really from Chowdhury. Straight through to the keeper. The only thing he was going to do was nick that to the keeper, more than likely. So good lines here from Zeb. So starting up this morning. And this morning it's early start today at 9 o'clock this match. Zeb comes in. Similar lines. Just a bit straighter this time. Chowdhury doesn't manage to do anything with that at all. And there's no run. So just the single so far off this over. The first one from Zeb this morning for the Danes in the field. Defending 154. Just a bit shorter of a length. Chowdhury just swishing his bat at that one. Nowhere near doing anything other than edging it, which he doesn't manage either. So there's just the single off the first, which means 1 without loss. The Norwegian reply, and that'll bring Islam on to strike for the second over. Let's see who's going to be bowling it. .98, give the man a bowler's marker. There we go, good lad. Don't want you digging up the grass here at Kerava. Thank you very much. Adam Lee it is. Plays his cricket in Clifton, apparently. Somewhere in England, if I remember correctly. Freddie Clocker advised us yesterday that this was somewhere in Derbyshire, but I might be wrong. Right arm medium. Just played out there through the, what should I say, past the short extra cover fielder on the ring, and there's a single there to Islam. So another player that the Danes have found from elsewhere than Denmark, and yep, enough of a thick edge on that one to take it over the heads of the inner circle fielders. And despite there being a man out there, he wasn't going to chase that one, so that goes flashing away to the boundary for Chowdhury off the mark with a 4. Having looked at Chowdhury in the last over, it seems to be that is the area that he's going to be looking to score his runs, risky as it may be. This plays down the wrong line, straight through to the keeper. Fortunately enough, didn't flick the off stump on the way through, so he gets away with that one. Looks like Lee is saying something about his cricket boots. If he's playing in England, probably plays on turf, so won't be used to playing on artificial, I suspect. Don't know enough about the young gentleman to say more than that, but that goes straight through to the keeper for another dot. Perhaps our colleagues watching back in Denmark can fill us in a little bit more on this young lad, Mr. Adam Lee. One of his parents being Danish, I understand. As he continues. And a similar result as the previous one, i.e. Chowdhury just backing away, trying to put something on it, and he doesn't manage to do so. That's another dot. Chowdhury just one scoring shot so far from the 8 balls that he's faced. Not managed to get bat on much this morning. And doesn't get bat on that one either, as he tries to... I wouldn't say it was neither a sweep nor, well, I don't know what it was. It was a paddle maybe, attempted paddle. He misses the ball, and sure enough, no doubt there in the umpire's mind that that was going to be clattering into the stumps, which the batter conveniently had just stood right in front of, so giving him a nice easy one. And yeah, as suspected, there's a change of footwear for young Mr. Lee. So long as they weren't steel spikes that he was wearing, then we'll be all right. So that's the end of the second over, 6 for 1. Lee there with a nice tight first over. Chowdhury just managing that thick edge through third man for 4. Other than that, no other scoring shots. So Zeb it'll be to continue. New batter, Hussain. Who, well, unfortunately for me, I don't have on the team list. There's no Hussain on my team list for Norway, so let's see. Number 11 I've got down as Junaid Mahmood. As Islam just pays that one past the backward point fielder for a single. Bringing number 11 Junaid Mahmood onto strike, even though I can see the screen is showing Jay Hussain, so a little bit of a mix-up here as to what these batters. And it'll be Zeb to continue. And they'll come round and complete the 2. Mahmood Hussain, the batter, gets off the mark with a double. His partner 54 Saiful Islam 3 from 5. Zebedee to continue. Just that shorter length again that he bowled in the first over, but doesn't manage to cut that one off. It just beats the fielder then backward a square, and that'll be 4 runs. Four runs to Hussain, taking the score along to 13. And that one just dabbed down, there's no run there. Made off. 98 is Adam Lee, the bowler of the previous over, fields that one. Who seems to have either a very old Danish cap on, or then another cap, as he approaches us here in the scorer's box. Just wind attack on the commentary box here. Blew the door wide open. Sorry about that. It'll be Adam Lee to continue from the water tower end with a new pair of shoes. And Hussain it'll be that's facing. Danish keeper just moving the position of the helmet. Hussain just dabs that one down to short mid, and there's no run. So number 98, it is Lee that's batting ball his second over of the morning. Big unit. Another one, just like his partner Zeb at the other end. Ooh, and he's got an edge there, but manages to squirt it out over backward point, and they'll chase it. They do manage to catch it before it gets to the boundary, so there'll just be 2. Bit lucky there, the batter. Leading edge, I think, but enough of one to beat the inner ring fielders. Still in the power play here, of course, is the 4th over of 6. The Norwegians just going along at just shy of 5 and over, so they're a little bit behind the rate at the moment. And just dabbed down and set off for a single, which there certainly was easily enough. The bowler wasn't going to be able to get round to field that one, and there's no fielder at short extra. So they come through for what is at the end of the day an easy single. Lee perhaps a bit more comfortable with these new pair of shoes he's got. What's that one in shorter, but not quick enough to trouble the batsman there, or the batter with his bounce. Guided away through to the point fielder on the ring, who has a shy and the well backed up. There's only a single. Dot 2 single this over so far for Lee. Again, short and outside the off, and the batter then basically just giving catching practice to deep gully fielder just inside of the inner circle ring. So Hussain departs for 10 from 8. Lee takes his second wicket. So 18 for 2 in the fourth. And at this point, it was the fourth over of the Danish innings that Danish batters then opened their shoulders a bit, went for 15. So they're looking to contain the Norwegian batters here. That's the second wicket down, which is the same as the Danes had by the fourth over. So wickets column is looking similar. However, Norwegians quite a bit behind currently run rate wise. Lovely sandwich just been brought to the commentary box here. Thank you very much, ladies in the kitchen. The most wonderful cricket lunches in the whole of the Nordics. I'd say the whole of Europe even, but I haven't tasted food around all of Europe, but I reckon we're up there. Claire and Aya in the kitchen here at the fantastic Kerava cricket ground, as Lee it is to continue to new batter Kuruge, who's been one of the main run scorers for the Norwegian team this weekend. Doesn't get off the mark. His first ball, Lee just cramping him up there with a short one, and that brings the end to the fourth over. So 18 for 2 the score. And if we compare to the Danish innings, they were 31 for 2 off the first 4 overs. So first 4 going to the Danes. At this moment, so we'll have a bowling change here. Let's see, number 16 suitably turns around just to show us his number. That's Mustaqim Aslam, who will be bowling the 5th over for Denmark this morning. Yeah, by the looks of the shade of Lee's Danish cricket cap, I think it might have belonged to Freddie Clocker back in the day. Keeping and batting by the looks of it. Certainly different shade of red than all of the other caps. As Lam comes in. And they take a quick single. Fielder's backing up all the way out there. A deep midfielder it is at the end of the day. Sharp throw. Misses the stumps, beats the couple of fielders that were backing up, but the third man that was backing up does the job, and there's just a single. Which brings the new batter, Kuruge, to face his second ball, his first one from the water tower end. Aslam with his black cricket boots on. I think Richard was saying yesterday. That one's just dabbed straight back at him. We're allergic to black cricket boots here in the commentary box, and continue to be so. So be it. Old is gold and all that. If you're watching, Richard. So Aslam it is to continue. Yep. Kuruge just dabbing that one down in there. One of the 2 fielders out for Denmark is, sure enough, down there on the third man boundary. Just keeps that one to a single. So third man and cow corner on the rope are the 2 fielders out currently for Denmark. And well, the sound of the bat, certainly got enough on that one. Has he gone all the way? He certainly has. The breeze today going in that direction as well, so he's just picked up the drift, and that's gone straight into the nets. As our ball boy just runs past the commentary box to see if he can find it. Can't see where that went from the commentary position, but 6 it certainly was. Islam didn't really seem to hit that all that hard, but wristy time shot was enough to clear the rope for a maximum. Umpire showing the new replacement ball to the batters. Everybody's happy with it. Not quite sure how many we've got, so they're going to have to be. So the run rate required at the moment just creeping up 8.41, so that 6 will help that along. And that's just dabbed down. Again, just to the left-hand side of the gully fielder on the ring, and there's a single, easily single taken there to Islam. So 6 in a single dab there from Islam. Smart batting here this morning from him. Brings Kurage back onto strike. Islam will hustle and bustle to the wicket, but the end product seems to come out slower than the run-up, so something Freddie's going to have to work on there, I think. Doesn't really get through the crease. The bowler Aslam, but he finishes the 5th over with a score on 27 for 2. And by the looks of it, is going to be Lee to continue with his 3rd on the run, on the trot. Bowling to Islam. So 2 overs, 2 for 9 so far for Lee. Let's see if he can continue it. Ooh. Batter having a bit of a fish at that. Doesn't manage to get anything on it. Straight through to the keeper. There's another dot. He's bowled a few of those already this morning. So whatever's going on in Clifton, transferred to Kerever this morning, looks alright. Nice enough bustling pace. Just come through for a single there, the batters, easy enough. Short mid setback, a sufficient lead to plenty of time for the batters to complete the single. Kuruge a bit circumspect so far, having seen how he's batted for the weekend then so far. How long he's going to keep having a look. Short one. Oh, has a swing at that. Doesn't make any contact. Tries to play a replay of the shot, and there's a deep mid-wicket out, but he was looking like swivelling on that one and playing it behind square. So if he'd made contact with it, that is. But, as he didn't, straight through to the keeper, and there's another dot. Full ball this time, and there's no long on out, so 1 bounce, 2 bounces over the rope. 4 runs for Kuruge then, just as I was saying, how long he was going to keep having a look. Lee. Need to continue again with another short one. Kurugge then tries to repeat the shot from the third ball of the over with the same result, i.e. swing and a miss, heave and a miss, straight through to the keeper. Reliably be informed that Dunstall is the team that young Mr. Lee plays for in Derbyshire, ECB Premier League. So there we go. Any Finns listening to this broadcast in a similar situation, do get in touch with us. I'm sure we'll find a Dane in Derbyshire, and the third time that he's bowled a short ball to Kurugge, and the third time that he's not really got any bat on it. So again, that'll be another dot, just the boundary and a single off the over. Brings the end of the power play at 32 for 2. And for comparison, the Danish power play was 50 for 2, so ahead of the game at this stage, Denmark. But as we said from the first innings, it was all good for the Danes up to the 10th over when they lost the third wicket at 80. So after that, they had a quieter period and didn't manage to score too many runs through the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th overs. So again, one critical phase of the game over here. Let's see how the Danish skipper then manipulates his field. We've got a third man out. It looks like he's putting his cover sweeper out on the boundary. We've got a deep mid-wicket. We've got a wide long on. And yes, we do have a wide long off stretching round here from the window of the commentary box as Aslam bowls that one, and it's guided just down to the third man fielder that I was just explaining was out there patrolling the boundary rope, so there's just a single. Brings Kurugge back onto strike. Based on what we've seen so far, probably one of the main batters for the Norwegian team. Edges that one through to the same fielder, previous ball down there at deep third, and there's just a single again. This time a bit more bat on that one. Through to the sweeper, and there was the batters there thinking about a second, deciding not to. A good throw from the deep, out from the sweeper fielder, just in front of the team tents. Keeps them to a 1. Aslam just giving a little bit of width again on the offside. This time straight to the point fielder. Aslam continues, and that's overthrows. Yep, I was just about to say hit straight to the backward point fielder, but bowler doesn't manage to gather the throw when they come through for 1. Thought the batter was in his ground anyway, but worth a shy. This time over the fielders. Oh, what a great catch that is. Coming over his shoulder, Chari, I think number 17. Running back from regular mid-off position towards the commentary box here, right in front of us. Islam doesn't get enough of that one, and I was just thinking that it was going to go away from him, but Chari manages to pull off a fantastic catch. Diving full length right in front of us here, in front of the commentary box. Well held, sir. I think having given 2 chances, or been given 2 chances by the Norwegian fielders, Chari manages to take the first one that's come in his direction. Excellent catch, and Aslan picks up his first wicket, and that brings also to the end of the 7th over, so the first one after the power play, a wicket down. 36 for 3 Norway currently, 55 for 2 the Danes were after 7. So an interesting chase developing here. Again, just losing a wicket, you'd have to say, at a critical time. The Norwegians, that brings in Rahimi at number 5 in the Norwegian chase. Let's see what we're going to have here. Change of bowling. 88, I think, was the shirt number I saw there. So that's Lucky Malik. Kurage just dabs that one down and goes straight to the backward point fielder on the ring, and there's no run. So same shot pretty much as the previous ball, but this time there's a fumble, which gives the batters the opportunity to come through for a single. Kurage moves on to 8 from 13. Brings the new batter Rahimi on strike. A little bit of left arm twirl from the Danes, and that's played out just backward of point to the fielder out there on the sweeper, just for the single. Returns the throw into the keeper. Kurage dabs this one down. Lee it is, the fielder, I think, based on the faded pink shade of the cap. It manages to stop the ball and tries to run out Rahimi at the striker's end. Doesn't manage to do so. They come through for a single. That's that on the full toss. Straight out to the extra cover fielder on the boundary. Just a single again there. Rahimi with enough on it to mean that the fielder was able to gather the ball quickly, and never a question of a second run there. So Malik keeping it tight so far, and again a similar shot from Kurage with the same result as the first ball of the over, which is a dot straight to backward point. That was the end of the over, the end of the 8th, 40. So just 4 off that one. First over from left arm tweaker Malik. And it'll be Aslam to continue. He's taken his 3rd over from the residential end here at the Kerava National Cricket Ground, just as I try to take a bite out of my sandwich in between overs. Just about managed to do so. And it's Rahimi that's going to face. Sure. Oh, he's chopped that down. I thought he's just thought for a second there he played on, but played it into his shoes. Didn't manage to kick it onto the stumps. So just a dot. Bit of pressure building here on the Norwegians. And a few good overs around this point of the innings. Move the score along for the end of the first 10. Oh, edges that one. Enough edge of it to... I mean, the keeper wasn't in the game, but the throw then comes back from the deep third fielder. Keeper doesn't manage to gather it. The stumps are broken, but no control of the ball. So batter just about made his ground by the looks of it. Certainly no interest or calls for a run out anyway. But, Rahimi is that's adjusting his equipment after that dive for the second run that he made. Made his ground. Just about, by the looks of it. Just about is enough. So Aslam continues, the required run rate's creeping up towards 10 at this moment in time. Just says he's managed to thread through. No, the chariot is on the ring. Just manages to get one hand on that one to avoid the ball going through the boundary. So a save 2 there. Good bit of athletic fielding at mid-off, coming round towards extra cover. Just manages to get something on it. Rahimi trying to thread it through the field there. Almost managed. Good bit of cricket there from these two. Rahimi facing again. A little bit of a fumble there from the keeper, but no run. Rahimi not managed to get anything on that. There's a replay of the shot that he was attempting. And he's got hold of that, and he's got hold of it enough, and it goes over the wide long on fielder for a maximum. Rahimi just swiveling on that one. Again, from the sound of the ball off the bat, that was always going to beat the fielder, and sure enough it did. Just a couple of metres above him there on the boundary rope at long on. A full toss. Swiped away to the fielder at deep mid. Not quite cow corner, but yeah, maybe you'd say it would be. But no, that's the end of the over. 51 for 3 after 9. 79 for 2 the Danes were at the same stage. 28 runs behind. Kurugge 9 from 15, Rahimi 13 from 8, putting a little partnership together here. Yep, the worm just showing us, as I said earlier, excuse me, 28 runs, the gap between the two at this stage. So I see Malik to continue with his left arm twirlers. Rahimi it is to face, and he just hits that one straight at extra cover field. There's no run. As Preston North End comes to block our view of half the field in front of the commentary box. Preston North End being the term of endearment for our wonderful little groundsman, as that's played out to the backward point fielder for a single, bringing Kuruge on to strike. I said earlier that Kuruge has been one of their main run scorers. See whether he's going to start opening the shoulders. 9 from 15 so far. Sure enough, he does so, but it's only enough for a couple of bounces to the fielder out there at long on. So there's only a single. Brings Rahimi on to strike. His partner 14 from 10 so far, so he's going along a bit of a quicker rate. Oh, and he edges that. Oh, it's just bounced in front of the fielder. Just edged. Not enough on it to carry all the way to, I think it's Lee there at son of a backward gully just inside the inner circle. Kuruge then plays this one. Lee gets it on the bounce and hits the stumps, which deflects the ball away from the keeper towards the fielder, who was feeling just a backward square leg, but not sharp enough to, just to the right of him, not enough to stop the single. Coming through for the overthrow. Almost there, decides to dance down, but then hesitates and comes back. Just come through for one. Trying to use his feet in the crease, but didn't manage to do anything more that take the single off that. So that brings us to the end of the 10th. 55 for 3, the Norwegians, meaning 100 exactly required off the last 10. So might have a nice chase on our hands here if these two stay together, put this partnership together. 10 and over off the last 10 to reach the score of 155. So they're going to have to put the skates on if they're going to make that. Just 5.5 and over they're going at for the first 10, the Norwegians. 80 was the score of the Danish batters at this equivalent stage, and it's going to be number 27. So another change of bowling. Saran Aslam come from the residential end, and that one is just thick-edged. Out to the short third man fielder on the ring just for the one. Brings Kuruge on to strike. 11 from 18. Kuruge not managing to time it so far today, and he doesn't time that one either. Just squirts out through the vacant mid-on area. Long gone Lee with the faded cap. No issues in terms of returning that one just to the bowler for a single. Slapped out to long off. It's Cherry out here in front of the commentary box. Just to the right of us, didn't see the field. The fielding. But in any case, manages to both stop the boundary as well as attempt for a second run. So it's just a single, brings Kuruge back on the strike. That's another fuller one, which hits again in the direction of long off. The same result, Cherry with a good arm to the keeper. Just showing the Norwegian batters that he's got a good arm, so they're not going to try two to his arm. You would have thought, if they've noticed that. So just threw the long off and for one. Ooh, swivel. And the top edge on there, and it goes through for 4 runs. Never a question that either the keeper or the short third were in business there. Just got enough on it to bring the close to the 11th over with a boundary. 5 dots and a 4 off that one. That's up in the air. Oh, and he's dropped it. Just about to say the fielder's done well to come round and position himself under the ball. That's number 55. Skipper Rizwan Mahmood, who puts that one down just outside the inner circle. And that brings the 11th over to a close. 11th over in need of a tweak, I think, on the scorers there. Certainly the 4 ran away on the 5th ball of the over. So 64 for 3. Yep, correction there in the over in the score. 64 for 3, so 9 off it. And it'll be Malik to continue with his left-arm twirlers from the weather tower end. Kurugeda just advancing down, doesn't do anything else except hit it straight back to the bowler. There's no run. Kurugeda is on strike. And yes, he does manage to beat the fielder this time. Just saying, stepping back and hitting that one through backward point, one of his favoured areas from what we've seen of him this weekend. The sweeper comes round. But not quick enough to stop the second. So there's 2 runs there to Kurugeda. And he's hit that one straight back at Lucky Malik, the bowler, and managed to take a nice catch. Sharp catch, as ever with those ones. Hit back at him hard. And so long as you catch it cleanly, don't feel a thing. Certainly looks as that was the way with Malik there. So Kurugeda goes. For 17. And Malik takes his first wicket of the morning. Batter number 17 coming at 6 for Norway. That's Wahidullah Sahak. Yeah, the opening bowler for the Norwegian side this morning. The best figures for Norway. And ooh, I was just about to say, he plays that almost into the hands of backward point just inside the ring, but bounces just in front of him for the single. Brings Rahimi back onto strike. And he advances down. Hit that well, but it's not well enough to beat the fielder out there at long on. It's just a single. Well fielded, returned to the bowler. Only the one. It's a bit short. It gives time for Sahak to basically step back and decide where he wished to hit that one. There was no fielder out there on the cover boundary. Easy enough for all he had to do was loft that one over the inner ring. And sure enough, that's what he did. Nice little shot for 4 runs. Just a bit of a challenge is here in the scorer's box by the looks of it. Can't give you the score yet at the end of the 12th. It'll be 27 Aslam to continue for the 13th over from the residential end. While the scorers try and get the scorecard up to date. Apologies here for the slight delay. And we have a resumption of service here at the Caravan National Cricket Ground. Sees Aslam continue, and a wild slash at that one. Oh, and he doesn't manage to grab it. The Danish fielder there backward. Third man just going over his head, swirling above him. Didn't manage to complete the catch. So there's another one's gone down. Rahimi it was, I think. Yeah, they came back for 2. Rahimi, it was on strike there. Gets a life. And he's swept that one beautifully between the 2 fielders out there. A wide mid-on and a deep mid-wicket for 4 runs. Nicely played. Is Rahimi going to be the man today for the Norwegians? 30 from 18 so far. Always going to need a big over. Oh, he misses that one. Just misses the top of off as well. Keeper removing the bail. A nice take there. The keeper Turner standing up to the medium pacer. Trying to keep Rahimi honest in the crease. Succeeds to do so. And that's short, pulled away. And for a minute looked as though the fielder might have been in business, but he wasn't, and there was enough on it for a maximum. So is this the over where the Norwegians managed to close the gap on the Danish score? The equivalent, the Danes had a quiet couple of overs, as I said earlier, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So critical phase here. They're going to make this chase. Run right creeping up for the Norwegians on the back of this over. towards 7, brings the run rate required down below 9.5. So what's Aslam going to do here? From Danish perspective, he needs to have 2 good balls here, but again he's short, and Rahimi just swivels on that one, and again another boundary. So Aslam is expensive here, not quick enough to be bothering batsmen with that pace, dropping it short. Easy pickings. .16 off the... Okay, the umpire's advising the batter needs to be wearing a helmet. Fair enough. One being brought out to him. Just as I was saying, the bowler not really quick enough to trouble the batter here with his bouncer, but still at the same time following ICC regulations here. Make sure that safety is paramount for the batters. And Rahimi will continue with a lid, 40 from 21. Nice little knock here. Let's see whether the helmet disrupts his flow. Aslam will hope so. See his figures even worse. There's a better ball, better length. Just squirts out to the fielder there on the ring. That's just a single, a bye. Brings us to the end of the 13th with the score on 91 for 4. So big over there. The difference now, as I said earlier, the Danes had a couple of quiet overs at this phase of the game, and the Norwegians now have managed to get the ball away quite nicely the last couple of overs. A 91 for 4, as against 99 for 4 the Danish were at the end of the 13th. So just 8 runs in it at this phase. So again, let's see how this innings develops. The Danes had another couple of quiet overs, the 14th and the 15th. So the opportunity here for Norway to get ahead. As lucky Malik it is to continue. Rahimi decides to dispatch with the helmet. Now we've got the slow ball on again. It'll be Malik's 4th and final over, as that one's squirted out past point, and the cover sweeper comes round for this, just to get the single. So Sahak on strike. Just faced 2 balls so far, as Rahimi's managed to milk most of the bowling in this partnership. Sahak just plays that one down through to the right hand of the cover fielder, and the sweeper comes round, just the one. Left arm spinner. Malik just keeping them to singles here at the moment. Oh, I was just saying, I just thought I had a fielder out there, but they'd moved him back. Uppish shot, just enough to get it over the backward point fielder, and the sweeper comes round again just for a single. So 3 singles so far of the over. Sahak back on strike. Bit of flight there. Oh, Sahak manages, yep, he's got enough on that. Straight over the head of the short cover fielder, and it runs away nicely. This outfield playing quickly here this morning. We've had no rain at all in Kerava the last 3 days. Ground has had a bit of a mow again this morning, just on the inner circle. The outer had a mow yesterday, and there's no question that that's not going to run away for 4, and it does. So 7 off so far, the first 4 balls. Sahak just hit that one nicely. They move the field. Covers out. Wide extra cover on the boundary. Sahak then just chips that, and oh, he chips it. Number 14 making a meal of that. That's Aiden Aftab puts that one down, so it's another chance. Goes begging. Easy catch, really, that should have been. Hit straight at him there on the ring, just backward a point. Regulation catch. That's put down. Another life. Oh, not quite sure what's going on there. The zing bells are flashing, but I think it's just not come off. Batters come through for 2, all going on here at the Kerava cricket ground this morning. And that's the end of the 14th over. And the end of Malik's spell. So he's 4 overs, 1 for 27, 101 for 4. The score at the end of the 14th, which means, as we said earlier, the Danes slowing down at this point of their innings. That takes the gap, closes to just 2 runs, 103 for 5. Denmark were at this stage, 101 for 4. The Norwegian reply, which means 54 from the last 6. Run rate required 9 and over. It looks like, yep, there's a opening bowler. Zeb's going to be brought back on for the 15th. Shakil Zeb, number 99. See if he can stem the flow here. That's what his skipper will be after. And he's going to bowl to Sahak, who's 11 from 5. Short. Sahak then slaps that away. There's nobody there backward of point. The deep third man fielder comes round and there's just a single. No question there of a catch in between the 2 fielders. Rahimi, the senior of this partnership, 44 from 25. Batted well here so far. Needed an anchor roll from somebody, and he's been the man, and that's smashed over extra cover. What a shot. 4 runs all the way as soon as it left the bat. Nice bat speed through the shot. There was nobody out here. We've got a regular cover field. There was nobody at extra cover, nobody at a wide long off. 4 all the way. So we've got, what do we have here? We have a long on, deep mid, deep third man, cover sweeper. Rahimi just swivels on that one, manages to, not sure if they got anything of the bat on it, but come through for a single. He did get wood on that one. I wasn't sure whether it was sleeve or... Anyway, moves him along to 49, brings Sahak back onto strike. 6 so far of the first 3 balls of the 15th. Zeb it is to continue. Oh, he beats him there. Just short of a length, similar ball that Zeb was bowling early on. Sahak plays and misses. Short one, and it was all the way. Wasn't sure though whether he got enough on that one. I thought it was a top edge, but it was enough of a top edge anyway that it carried all the way for a maximum. Sahak there, just stand and deliver. the breeze going in that direction. A couple of shots we've seen this morning that quite clearly have been assisted by the little breeze that we've got coming towards the commentary box, towards the long off position where that one went. And again he's danced down, but this time, oh, he's found the man, but the man has dropped it. That's another drop. 98, I think Lee it is out there. Came round well, made up the ground to take the catch. Did everything other than catch it and put it down. So that brings the end to the 15th, and with those couple of boundaries in that over, the Norwegians have managed to overtake the Danes at the 15th. 7 runs, 107 for 5, 114 for 4 at the equivalent stage. So an interesting chase on here. Norway just getting ahead for the first time in this innings. Zeb not managing to stem the flow of runs for his team here, so it's interesting to see what the next bowling change will be, as Lucky Malik finished his 4-over spell the previous over from the weather tower end. And it'll be 27, Saran Islam, who has been peppered for a few from the residential end. Change of ends for him, and resumption in proceedings. He's peppered this time to the cover boundary for 4. Sahak it is that just guides that one, really, you could say. Well, didn't hit that with any power, didn't need to, timed it, just guided it over the skipper. It is there, Rizwan Mahmood at regular cover on the ring, just adjusting his field now. He's put the sweeper out, and Sahak then flicks it round square, just move the field, and he's manipulating the ball at will here. Danish fielders not managed to cut that off. That's another 4. So Aslam continues to be expensive. And Sahak and Ramini running away with this at the moment, hitting boundaries at will. Danish fielders not able to cut that one off. And then just guided to the left of the Danish skipper there at cover, so it's just a single. So Aslam's gone for 35 so far off 15 balls. Rahimi on 49 from 27. And doesn't manage to do anything with that, just hits it straight back at the bowler, so still stays on 49. Not had many 50s here this weekend. A chance for one here for Rahimi. He hangs around a little bit more. You can't help but thinking that this is Norway's game. Plays that one through to mid-wicket. There's a single, and that's a 50. He raises his bat off 29. Is this going to be the innings to secure the game for Norway today? 31 required, still off 4.1. So they managed to drag the run rate required below 7.5. Sahak it is who flicks that one, and thought then for a minute that the square leg fielder was in business, but he got it past him, and that's another boundary. Aslam continues to be expensive. Dispatch there for another 4, so that's his 3 overs have gone for 40, 128 for 4. The score now at the end of the 16th. 10 runs ahead. The Danes at this moment, with still just 4 down, so 4 down against 6 down, the Danish innings. So that'll be just 27 off 4 required as the Norwegian run rate creeps up to the first time to 8 and over. So we would have thought it's Norway's game here, unless the Danes can really need to take wickets now. If there's any other option here, Zeb it is that's going to come on for his fourth and final over. Went for a few more in his third than he probably would have liked. But he needs a wicket here now. Rahimi it is, the half-century scorer, facing. And he has a wild slash at that one. No bat involved, straight through to the keeper. A similar slash, and surely the keeper's going to swallow that one. He does. That's the end of the that innings for Rahimi. Finishes on 50 from 31. Norwegians will be happy with that. Got them into a winning position for him, you have to say. But at the same time, those wickets need to be taken to bring the Danes back into this. So let's see whether this is the moment. Is Zeb the man for the Danish A side here against Norway? New batter for Norway replacing Rahimi will be, let's have a look. Javed Khan, number 18, I'm not seeing the number, but Khan it is. And Zeb will bowl to him. That's short of length. Swiped out there to a couple of bounces to the long on fielder, comes round through. Picks it off just past the inner circle fielding position. Sahak back onto strike, who's 32 from 30, and a couple of lusty blows in that previous over. Improved his run rate. Strike rate, beg your pardon. And no, I was just going to say there's going to be another one. There's not. There's a man out there at cow corner, just a single. So just depending on how he goes here with his last ball, I'm just about to say Zeb managing to do the job, stem the flow of runs. Let's see where this one goes. New batter Khan it is, it'll face, and he's hit that, and he's hit that well. As the fielder out there, there is. Manages to gather and return well, just a single in front of the mobile rain covers there at deep third man. So just the one. The last ball of the spell from Zeb here. Oh, just about to say get away with that, but it doesn't as it's gone down the leg side, and sure enough, Venkat umpires then signals the wide. So re-bowl that one. Looking for the block hole Yorker there, just slightly off, straight down the leg side, and there was no question about that on being a wide. Disappointed with that one was Zeb. That's at this phase. That's the last thing he wants to be bowling, is that? Oh, for a second there I thought Chari here on the ring was going to be diving forward to try and take a flying catch, but he decides against it. Just a single. 133 for the loss of 5 wickets. So 3 runs ahead after the 17th. The Norwegians on the equivalent stage of the Danish innings. 130 for 6 off 17 they were. And let's see, I was going to say that had to be a bowling change. given the number of runs that were taken off the previous over from the weather tower end. And it, sure enough, Adam Lee it is who'll bowl his fourth and final over this morning, imported all the way from Derbyshire. A Derbyshire Dane, there we go. Three overs, 2 for 14 so far, so it's a critical over here. If Lee can keep it tight and maybe nab another wicket, then we're going to see a close finish, I suspect. 22 from 3. Batters certainly struggled to get him away earlier today in the innings for his first 3 overs, so let's see what happens here. Just the one. Punched it to extra cover fielder just on the ring. Sahak it was. That brings Khan onto strike, who's just faced 2 balls thus far. Shorter one, swatted away, and it's Cherry that's out there on the deep mid-wicket boundary. A couple of bounces to him and only a single. Lee a bit quicker than he might be troubling batters with that short ball, but wasn't really a problem there, just to swivel back and play that as he comes in again. Again, another short one, and that's the top edge. Have we got anybody out here? No, we haven't, is the reply. Just to the right of the commentary box, unable to see that part of the ground, but sure enough, umpire Samantha signals 4. Top edged, could have gone anywhere really, but it went over the head of the keeper, and there was nobody out here at fine leg to stop that one, so yeah, field a position that probably should have covered if Lee was going to be bowling a short stuff, and this one's just nurdled around the corner to Cherry again out here, and they'll take a run on the misfield. He's been tidy himself thus far, Cherry in the field, but he managed to fumble that one and give the opportunities to the Norwegian batters to come back for a second. Sahak's galloped along for 41 off 18 here. What's Lee going to give him another short one? And again, comes down the wicket, not gets enough, doesn't get enough on this one. It's just 2 runs as the wide long off fielder comes round to gather that one. A couple of 2s, a 4 and a couple of singles, it's enough to put the Norwegians in the pound seats here as Lee continues. Needs a wicket, and is he? No, he's not going to get one, and it beats the fielder as well. I just thought for a minute there Cherry was in business, but didn't fly as far as I thought, and the spin after the bounce took it away from the fielder. There was no way he was going to stop it after that one, so that's a boundary to put paid to Lee's figures now. 2 for 28, 147 for 5 at the end of the 18th. It was always going to be the way. It was either tight over that they needed, the Danes, to have a chance of containing this one, but they didn't get it. Lee going for 14 there. So now the required run rate slips down to only 4, 8 off the last 2, and it's Norway's to lose from here. (16) Aslam it'll be. Bowled his 4th over, the 19th. It's Cherry and the skipper, Rizwan. Thinking about where they're going to put the field. Sure enough, a bit of a tweak here as Lee, it was, as long gone, has come into the circle. Regular mid on. There's Aslam. Oh, and he's bowled him. So Khan goes. So do we still have a twist in the tail here? Wild agricultural swipe at that one, and no contact made. The stumps and the zingers flashing up here for the 6th time this morning in the Norwegian innings. Aslam takes his 2nd wicket, and it'll be Iqbal in at 8 for Norway. Right, Iqbal, the skipper. Skipper Norway to face, and that's still 8 runs required. Now off the remaining 11 balls. Still Norway's game here, you have to say. Another wicket might make it interesting though. Iqbal, left arm spinner and left-handed bat. And Aslam is going to come around the wicket, right arm around the wicket to him. Just dabs that one down, and there's a man there, but he's not around quickly enough to curtail the run. That's Iqbal gets off the mark with a 1, bringing his partner Sahak onto strike, and you're going to feel that this is the moment. Either Sahak is going to slap it around and win this game, or Aslam has to get him out. That's the only options the Danes have here to take this game. Going to get Sahak out here. What's he going to do? Yeah. Just short of length, it's only a single. Wickets is the currency that the Danes need to be dealing in. And the Norwegians know that it's enough for them to just nudge it around. I don't think Sahak's going to be standing around nudging it though. Iqbal perhaps will do. Just 6 off the remaining 9 balls required. And, yep, wide ball. Sure enough, his change of action coming right arm over rather than right arm round to the left-hander. Talking about this in the box yesterday. Bowlers changing sides invariably at this level tends to be a challenge for the bowler, and he's got that one straighter, but Iqbal was going to go no matter what, it seems. Lee, the fielder, takes it clean enough. Has a shy at the stumps but misses, and they come through for the single, so that takes it to 151. 4 from 8. Same equation here. Aslam has to take a wicket, otherwise Norwegian victory is on the cards. Let's see, it's Sahak. Will he bring up his 50 and win the game at the same time? Ooh, well bowled. He's dug that one out. Just a single. Moves him along to 49. Aslam finishing up with figures of 2 for 30 from his 4. beg your pardon. I thought that was the 6th ball, it wasn't, it was the 5th. So 2 for 29 it is. As he comes in again, Iqbal just... Oh, and he's bowled him. Just about to say, Iqbal then moving around on the crease and moving around the crease sufficiently to actually shuffle and miss the ball. Aslam then cleans him up, so that's the 7th wicket down. 1-5-2. Do we still have a twist in this tail? Still 3 runs needed. Got a little over there from Aslam. Ends up with 3 for 29 from his 4. So 2 wickets fall in the 19th. 3 to win is the equation for the Norwegian batters. And it'll be 27. Aslam guessing that the Danes don't have another bowler, as he has been carted, you could say, the last few overs when Aslam's bowled. And 40 off his 3. And we've got another Sahak coming in at 9. Share Sahak it is. He'll join his partner Wahidullah Sahak for this last over. 3 runs needed off it. Keeper then coming up. Stand up to Aslam, he's got his lid on. Trying to keep the batsman in the crease. Sahak just hits that one back. Hits it back past him, and has he got enough on it? Is it going to go all the way? I think it will. And the game is there. That's a 4 to finish, brings up his 50 and a victory for Norway. 2 innings there of 50s for the Norwegians was enough to chase down the score, and they finish on 156 for 7. So that's another victory for the Norwegians with 5 balls to spare. Sahak there with a winning knock, 53 from 23. Excellent innings. Brings us to the close here of game number 5 in the Nordic Cup. We shall now take another break, and next match in proceedings will be Finland against Norway, which is the 3rd of the T20I series between the two of them, starting at 1300 finish time. That's 12 o'clock midday Central European, so please do join us again at the wonderfully glorious Kerava National Cricket Ground for a wonderful afternoon of cricket. Thank you for following the first game. Please do make sure you come and join us again in the afternoon.